Good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon.
Spring fever has hit, I think, for most folks, so it's so nice to have a class where we didn't have to look at snow outside the window. So, I'm done with snow now, y'all. I'm done with it. Okay, there's a couple of things that I want to make you aware of before we actually get into today's lecture. If you see anyone else that's in the class that's not here today, you might want to remind them that Tuesday is Panther Prep Day. So all of the South Side locations are closed for classes. But they are having activities take place on campus where you can meet with your advisors and financial aid and other groups like that for getting things set up for summer classes or fall classes, because registration starts everywhere. Already started for most of us, but for the South Boston location, I think it starts April 1st. So next Tuesday, we do not have class, okay, because of Panther Prep Day. Okay? That I had kind of planned in the calendar. However, we are not going to have class Thursday either. Okay? I'm going to be playing hooky that day. I'm taking a little vacation, so
Good.
we'll give you all a little vacation too. How about that?
Thank you.
Yeah. Next week is spring break for like the public schools and so on. So a lot of the kids have off, and my daughter's a middle school teacher, so she and I are gonna do a little something together. So anyway, we will not meet next week. However, I will have my computer with me as always. So if you need me for something, don't hesitate to email me. I will. May not get back to you right away, but I'll get back to you fairly quickly because I'll at least be checking email at least once a day. And I do encourage you to take advantage of Panther Prep Day because it's a good time to sit down where your advisor can deal with you face to face on any registration issues and that sort of thing. If you're my advisee and you come to Panther Prep and need some help, Dr. Sarah Horn will help you out there. She's just super, super friendly and nice, so I think you'll have no problems if you need to see her. But, of course, I would prefer that you come talk to me, and y'all can do that anytime during office hours. I'll be glad to help you. But if you're like worried about getting into class because you think it's going to fill up and you want Dr. Horn to go ahead and sign off on it, that's fine. So otherwise, I won't be seeing you all either face-to-face or on the camera next week, okay? And if you have any missing students in your classes, please let them know. Now, I'll probably go ahead and post that one chapter that we were going to do next week so that you can go ahead and read it or whatever, and just so that there's not a blank week sitting in there, but we will actually cover that the following week. Okay. We're quickly winding down to the end of the semester, so got the month of April to go, and that'll be it. So anybody have any questions about next week then? You're going to remember, right? I'll try to send out a little email, just a reminder not to drive here or anything like that, okay? All right, let me switch the camera. And I'm gonna share the screen here. Hopefully, you see Blackboard up there. We are on the second half of this week. By the way, I did post the lecture from Tuesday up there, so if you want to go back and take a look at any of that, that is available for you. So we're down here to chapter 15. I did remember to press the record button today, so we're in good shape. We're going to start looking at this chapter. This chapter is a fairly easy chapter. All those theories in the previous chapter were kind of blah, I know. So we're going to look at group work and teamwork today. We're going to look at what the difference between a group is and a team, and then talk about how teamwork can actually help you in a management setting. Did everybody in here get your PowerPoints up here? Did y'all put them up? Okay, good. All right. So I'm going to start you off with a little short video that I thought was kind of hilarious, but it really does bring home a lot of points about teamwork. This one called Good and Bad Teamwork. So I hope this shows up fine for you because it's really kind of cute. Let's see if I can get him going. Everybody see that? It says this is an example.
Yeah.
Okay, good. There are really no words to it, just a little bit of music.
Sound effects increased.
I just thought that was so cute. So cute. I hope you enjoyed that, and you see that in the first one, that we've got our folks not working together in the first example there, and it ended up being pretty rough for everybody. When you make fun of others who perhaps want to join your group, and they may have something they can offer you, when that doesn't work out, you make, allow people to come into the group and so on. It turns out to be kind of disastrous. But when you all work together, you can actually accomplish some really great things. So I just thought that was really a cute way to get things started with this particular chapter. So I'm going to share the screen again and get our PowerPoints up, hopefully. Okay, hope everybody has PowerPoints for chapter 15 up there on the screen for you. Again, this chapter, we're still in the influencing section of our functions of management, and now we're going to look at how groups and teams can actually help out with accomplishing your objectives for your organization. So we're going to look at what the term group means, and then later on we'll look at what the term team means, different types of groups that are in organizations and how you can manage them, and then how some of these teams actually develop throughout time. So I would say that probably every one of you in this class belongs to a group of some sort, okay? If nothing else, you are a group of students, right? Okay. But you may belong to, I don't know, you all tell me, what other groups do y'all belong to? I belong to a church group. Okay. How about a social networking group, like a Facebook group or something like that?
I belong to a leadership training group.
Okay, very good, very good. All right. So basically a group is just where you have a number of people who interact with each other. They are aware of each other, but they do perceive themselves to be a group, not just an individual. Okay, so you all came up with several examples of groups existing in all types of organizations, schools, churches, outside activities, social groups, and so on. Groups are going to inevitably form. That's just our nature, is that we typically form groups that have common characteristics. Okay? Now, in an organization, a group can either be desirable or undesirable. Okay? You could have groups that are really great in furthering your company's mission, or you could have those that might be tearing down your company. Okay? So if you as a manager can understand a group, then you'll hopefully switch them over from that undesirable to desirable activities in your organization. We have both formal and informal groups. You might belong to a group where you've actually been appointed or assigned by someone to be in that group, or commanded to be in a group, or a task group, which is a group that's formed just to actually accomplish a specific task. Or maybe you've been placed on a committee. A committee is a group or a work team of some sort. But these formal groups, someone has actually said, you're going to be a member of such and such a group. You've been appointed or assigned to that group. Okay, I know that I personally belong to a curriculum development committee. That's a formal group that comes together to discuss and approve the classes that are required in different programs. Okay, that's a formal group. Okay, but informal groups also emerge. They're kind of spontaneous, interest groups, friendship groups. I know that there are a group of 5 of us at work who happen to just be friends. And we've got a little group on Facebook Messenger. Whenever we email each other, we use Messenger, and that way we all read about it. And we're kind of like a little support group. If we have a bad day, we're a right group. But that's more of a friendship thing. It's not a work. It's work related in the sense that we all work for Southside, but it's not to try to accomplish work. It's just a friendship type thing. Everybody needs some groups like that too, right? Okay, so this is an example of a chart that has a production manager's actually created a formal group with machine operators. Okay, operators 1 through 5 there, so that's just that particular production manager has put together this group that fall under Supervisor A as a formal group of people in the organization. I can bet that you all probably guessed that the large majority of companies have committees. The larger the company, the more committees. Okay? You see here that companies that have over 10,000 employees, 94% of those have committees to accomplish things. I will ask this. You don't have to tell me that. Anybody in here Baptist?
Well, Christian.
Baptists are known for all the committees they have, right? Tons of them to get anything done. There's a building committee. There's a committee that deals with the funding. The
committee that sets up the committees.
Right. All kinds of committees. And of course, with Baptists, whenever the committee meets, you have to eat fried chicken afterwards. But
So that's mandatory. That's biblical.
So, churches, not just companies, are famous for having committees, of course. And I don't think it's just the Baptist religion. I'm sure it's a lot of other religions, too, that have plenty of committees. I would clearly say that Catholics are known for very formal committees. The Pope, the leader of a lot of them. I'm not Catholic, so I don't begin see that, but just from what I see. Now, in a formal group, you have development stages because you've not willingly said, I'm going to develop this group. Somebody has told you you're going to be in this group for a specific purpose. So the first stage is the acceptance stage. You accept the fact that you and others are going to be members of this group. And then the communication and decision-making stage, where you start talking among each other and make decisions as to what roles your committee members are going to play and so on. Group solidarity stage is where you're starting to come together and think of yourself as a positive stage. Then group control stage is where you have totally developed as a formal to accomplish a particular mission. Groupthink is a term that you hear sometimes that can possibly be a negative type thing, consequence to group work. This is when you go along with the group just because everybody says so. Okay, I always think of that. Y'all ever watch that TV show, Family Feud? Okay, where there's two families and they're answering questions or whatever. You ever notice that even if somebody in a family gives a really stupid answer, they'll all say, good answer, good answer. You know, that's kind of group thing. You're going to support your group no matter what. And that can be a negative consequence sometimes. Now, we'll look here at the informal group planning organization chart here, and you'll see that it's totally different from the formal group. The formal group had just supervisor A and the machine operators 1 through 5 as part of that group, but the informal group has chosen people from different jobs, different supervisors, and so on. So it's a separate type of organization. So an informal group, though, can still have a lot of benefits for a company. It can take a look at the values the group members consider important and build upon those. It can give social satisfaction. Back when I made that comment, everybody needs a little group as far as friendship goes. It certainly does provide some social satisfaction sometimes. It increases the communication among the group members, and it also increases your overall desire to be a part of the work environment. I can definitely say that for the group, the little social group that I have, the friendship group. I look forward to seeing those friends because we have communicated with each other throughout the night sometimes. We'll go out all night long talking to each other. Informal is not bad, but formal is more structured. One of the things that you would do as a manager would be, first of all, to determine if a group actually exists. Okay? Is there a group out there, and what can you find out about that group? One way to do that is to use sociograms or sociometry. It's an analytical tool that identifies informal groups. And you link those people that are part of the group to the number of times they were chosen and whether their choice was reciprocated. It gives you insights about the informal groups within an organization. This actually plots it, a sociogram, plots it and looks at all the number of times. I mean, this is like way complicated for me, but it looks at one-way choices, which are the golden lines there. Not very gold on the screen, but like from L to S. And then the reciprocated choices, which are back and forth between the, not just kind of one-directional type things between the members. So, you know, to me, that's a little far-fetched to draw a diagram, but I guess that's the way you could possibly determine if there's a group out there. But informal groups, the reason you should want to know about them as a manager is because you should know what kind of characteristics exist within those groups. They will have influence on other members in your organization as well. Homans did a little evolutionary design of informal groups. Okay, it shows there that we've got a formal group that has sentiments, interactions, and activities, but sometimes an informal group will develop from that, leading to satisfaction and growth that gives feedback to the formal group. And again, it's kind of a circular thing here with the formal group creating almost an informal group, a formal group. all the faculty at Southside Virginia Community College is a formal group, right? We were all hired, given the direction to teach classes. This little social group that I have is an informal group that's sprung out of that formal group. And we may talk and come up with communication with each other and so on, leading to a consequence of some sort where we actually are either more satisfied or less satisfied, and we grow within the group. And that feedback goes back to the rest of the faculty, back to the formal group. I wonder if, in our case, our administrators at the college know that our informal group exists. Okay? My guess is they don't know that we perhaps have a group set up on Messenger, but they probably could identify very quickly which faculty associate with each other on a more informal basis. So a group, again, are just people interacting with each other. They are aware of each other and they do think of themselves as a group, but a team is a group whose members influence one another towards accomplishing an organizational goal. So it's the goal that's the difference there. You're trying to reach that goal. So notice that last sentence, not all groups are teams, but all teams are groups. Okay, you might have to think about that one. Okay, not all groups are teams, but all teams are groups. Okay, so teams all have people interacting with each other. Teams are aware of each other. Teams think of themselves as a group, but teams have one additional thing there. They are aiming towards accomplishing an organizational goal. Lots of different types of teams, problem-solving teams that are set up to eliminate a specific problem in an organization. A self-managed team which plans, organizes, influences, and controls their own work situation with minimal managerial intervention. In other words, a manager's not going to get very involved, but it still functions as a team. And then a cross-functional team is where people from different functional areas focus on a specific objective. So perhaps you have an objective to increase enrollment at the college. Somebody from different areas. You can have a faculty member, you can have a student, you can have a somebody from financial aid there, you can have somebody from student services there. They're from different functional areas, but they're all focusing on a specific objective. So it's possible you could have some overlap here with these different teams. You're seeing here where we've got all three types, the self-managed, the problem-solving, and the cross-functional teams being able to kind of cross over with each other. In other words, you can have a cross-functional team that's also focused on problem-solving and may not have management involved very much else. So as a team develops, it goes through stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Looks like they could have come up with the last word that come around there, but not quite the same. Or maybe it's not that same. But when a team is developed, it first is formed where everyone becomes acquainted. All right, and then some storming takes place where the team members actually compete. Who's going to be the leader? Who's going to be this? Who's going to do that? And so on. Then norming, where they set the roles, the rules, and acceptable behavior. Finally get around to what they're supposed to be doing, which is the performing, to actually tackle whatever their mission is for that particular team. And then adjourning, where the job is finished and that team is disbanded. So teams can be very, very effective when used properly, but they do depend upon people-related factors, organization-related factors, task-related factors. Okay, many things there that can influence how effective the team is, including things like the individual people satisfaction with their teams, whether they trust people or not, whether they are good communicators, their job security level, organizationally, whether the company has a supportive management, whether they have good rewards and recognition programs. And then task related. Have you ever been on a team where you didn't know exactly what it was you were trying to accomplish? That's rough, okay? A task-related factor means that you have clear objectives and directions, you know what you're trying to do, kind of have some experience and qualified people there to tackle that task, but all of those will lead to effective team performance. Trust is a major factor when it comes to effectiveness. Trust involves believing in reliability, ability, and in the integrity of another person. You as a manager, one of your biggest jobs will be to build trust among your team members. You need to communicate often. You need to show respect to people, be fair, be predictable, and demonstrate that you are competent. Yesterday, day before yesterday, I saw a little team in operation that really was not focusing in on this trust factor. There was a manager and there were two subordinates, so these three people made up a team that were doing a particular job. Yes, sir. Competence means that you're able to do the job well. You're competent in the job means you're doing it good. Okay? You know what you're doing, in other words. Well, this little team that I was looking at, this manager and the two subordinates, I went in to ask a question. I had a problem. I needed it to be solved. Manager, and I'm not calling any names on anything, violated that second rule. He did not show respect to the team members. Right?
Mr. Pettis, stop drinking while you quiet.
What? What was that? I get it, y'all are saying something important there, but I can't hear you. Okay. When you don't show respect to your team members, how does that make the team feel? Pretty rotten, right? Especially if you don't show respect in front of others. Okay? So if I go to a situation where the manager is not showing respect to the team members, does that make me feel good about I'm going to get my problem solved? Not at all. Not at all. Respect is something we seem to have been losing for the last few decades, I think. So sometimes people deserve respect simply because of the positions they're in, especially in front of others. It's something that needs to be addressed That should be handled one-on-one, right? All right, we're going to do one more thing. We are going to look at a little video that shows the difference between a group and a team. Let's see, share screen again. There's this.
What is the key difference between a group of people and a team of people?
Oh, you all can hear it.
I'll explain the essence of that in this video.
All right. Thought that share didn't show up on the computer here. Y'all don't have anything, do you? Okay, let's switch the camera. Oh, I got the hiccup. We lost it. All right. We have totally lost it here. Oh my goodness. Why do I not have anything here? Well, I have something up there. Let's try again. Okay.
What is the key difference? What is the key difference between a group of people and a team of people working together? I'll explain the essence of that in this video. Hello, I'm Steve Goldberg. Every week I bring you practical tips and ideas on leadership, team development, and we all know that team see that team better teamwork. What's that secret sauce that makes I asked this question, the difference between a group and a team.
Thanks, sir. Okay, thank you.
It's not always true. Take, for example, a construction of a building or a structure. Functions a team, but everybody has a common goal to build that building or structure. Something that we call team spirit. To help each other achieve that common goal. But to do that, personal goal, your personal motivation aside for the better of the team, understanding and knowing yourself and knowing each other. People better understand themselves and each other. We're going to put aside what we often consider as inappropriate behavior, or behavior that's contrary to our own style. Somebody that's appears more aggressive, we think they're just maybe being nasty or just trying to control things, but maybe it's their inborn style. So start learning about people and understanding what's driving that behavior. You realize that maybe it's a strength in certain situations, but it can come across as a weakness in others. And knowing ourselves too, we get a better understanding of how others may perceive us. So that really helps us to develop better human relations, because that's really key. Teams that function autonomously or high performance teams work together to solve problems on their own. They don't wait for management to step in and tell them what to do. They take proactive action to come up with solutions. And in today's world where there's global competition, we need people to be more agile, be able to respond and keep the projects moving forward and be innovative, be creative, come up with solutions, practice. So how do you create that team spirit? How do you get people to know each other? And that's through training and development. Now, companies invest a lot of money in skill development, and that's really important, especially with the age of technology that we're in. Jobs evolve, skills evolve, but you also need to give people that training on human relations. If you want that team spirit to happen, you want them to be able to work together autonomously. So I'll talk more about this in future videos, so subscribe if you're not already. Check out some of the articles on the website that accompany these videos, and let me know what you think about these topics. If it's not what you'd like me to cover, I'd be happy to. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk again.
Okay. Sorry for the weird sound there, but I think we kind of finally got it squared away. Okay. Back to me. And that is really basically the entire chapter. I told you it was a pretty easy one. Okay. Anybody have any questions, any comments about teams and groups? Okay, well, I will get this video posted. If you couldn't exactly hear that last one, of course, it's up on Blackboard. You can watch it anytime you've got access to a computer. And do not forget about next week, okay? All right, and y'all have a happy Easter. It's hard to even believe Easter's here. I know, I hope it doesn't snow Easter too. I don't want to have to hunt for my Easter eggs in the snow. So. Yeah, that's true, they should stick out. Okay, y'all have a wonderful week next week.